Hi, I'm John Goodnight. Today I'm going to discuss Slo B. Slo B is defined in the English syllabus as the social nature of composing, particularly the role of discourse communities at a local, national, and international level. Now, before I define this myself, I'd like to break down some of the key words in this definition, mainly discourse community. A discourse community, as we might have learned in an earlier English class, is a group of people who share similar interest and have similar language. For example, I have my lacrosse stick with me. In lacrosse, it is a special discourse community of people that all share the passion for the game of lacrosse and have their own language, such as midi, defensive man, and attacker. In using rhetoric situation, it is important to understand discourse communities because to persuade someone, you have to understand the group that you are trying to persuade. It also discusses local, national, and international levels. This is how much of a reach you are trying to have. In our case, it is a commercial, so it is either a national or maybe even an international level depending on the commercial. Now, the way I would define Slo B is how we connect people through different genres of writing, whether it be a persuasive paper, a speech, or a commercial as we used. In rhetorical analysis, it is important to understand Slo B because it allows us to understand how a company such as Lucky Charms is trying to persuade a certain discourse community, which in their case is children. While that's a very broad discourse community, it is still considered a discourse community because they all share common interests and language. By understanding discourse community, you are more effectively able to use logos, ethos, and pathos, which are all very important in the rhetoric situation. When looking at Slo B, it is important to remember that the core of it is social nature. That is what binds all these things together. Is when we write, especially when progressing towards Slo B, we progress to write socially and connect people together, not just write for ourselves. Also, if we don't remember social nature in writing, we lose track of who we're writing to and why we're writing to them. In the case of Lucky Charms, if they were to lose the social nature of their commercials, they wouldn't appeal as much to children and they wouldn't sell as much product. When progressing towards Slo B, some certain struggles that I encountered was really understanding how to relate discourse community to the audience. I think it's important to remember that a discourse community can be considered an audience because it is a group of people. Once that community is discovered, it's a lot easier to identify the logos, ethos, and pathos used in that certain commercial and how it appeals to that certain community. After realizing that children is a large discourse community that applies to local, national, and international levels, it is much easier to break down a rhetorical analysis for this certain commercial. Another struggle that I had is once I discovered the discourse community, is relating myself to that community like I once was a part of that community, and still, as you can see by my Captain America stuff, sometimes still a kid at heart. After discovering the discourse community, it is important to try to relate yourself to that community and what would be effective to you. For example, the mythical figure, such as the leprechaun, may not seem like a very credible figure to an adult or even a teenager, but to a kid could be very appealing as a credible figure. The main way that Slo B has helped me become a better writer is being able to better identify discourse community and how the social nature of composing a certain type of genre relates to that discourse community and connects communities together, whether it be advertising to them, trying to persuade them, or even rallying them, such as a political campaign. In all genres of writing, it is important to remember the discourse community, no matter how large or how small that community may reach. There is always someone that a person is writing to. Understanding Slo B not only helps you become a better rhetorical analysis, but a better rhetoric writer in being able to be more persuasive in your writing when you keep in mind the certain discourse community that you're writing to and what level you are writing it to, whether it be a local level, such as writing a persuasive letter for a town hall meeting, or a national level, such as speaking in front of Congress, or an international level, such as speaking at a G7 or G7 plus 5 conference. I hope you all enjoyed my rhetorical analysis video. Scratch that, not my rhetorical analysis video. My reflection video on student learning outcome B. Till next time.